despite the very strong commitment and engagement of all the delegations of the different parties, the conference on Cyprus was closed without an agreement being reached.
The prospect of a reunified Cyprus appears to be, for now at least, dead in the water. 10 days of high-level UN-backed talks held in Switzerland earlier this month were said to have broken down in acrimony. The UN Special Advisor on Cyprus said a linchpin issue was the 35,000 troops Turkey has kept in the breakaway Turkish Cypriot north since 1974, when it intervened after a coup by supporters of a union with Greece. Following the failure of the talks, Greek Prime Minister Alexis Cyprus said that no nation in the 21st century can be considered sovereign if it is subjected to intervention. Well, joining me now in the studio is the Foreign Minister of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, Tahsin Ertuğrul. Sir, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. It's good to finally talk to somebody who's directly involved. Everybody was very hopeful about what was going on in Switzerland. Who caused the collapse of the talks? Was it them or you?
Well, it's not such an easy question to answer, for the simple reason of the fact that the United Nations organization itself is responsible for the failure of a 50-year-long negotiating process, for the main reason being the treatment of the Greek Cypriot side by the United Nations organization as if they are the legitimate successors of what used to be a partnership republic of Cyprus of 1960, and treating the other partner, the Turkish Cypriots, us, as if we are a secessionist ethnic minority of the Republic of Cyprus. This treatment of the UN organization itself is the one and only main reason why negotiations are doomed to failure. One reason being that the Greek Cypriots have no incentive for a negotiated.
They have nothing to give up, or?
They have nothing to gain. But they have already gained what they wanted.
I see. So they have nothing to give up, but you're saying the UN preferred them. This is exactly what they're saying about you right now. They're complaining about the UN Special Envoy Espen Barth Eider. The President of Cyprus, Nikos Anastasiades, said, "It is sad that people who are mandated to defend international law lie publicly in order to justify Turkey. Both our records and their records will be made public in detail in order to reveal at last who tells the truth." They're saying the UN envoy is lying to the Secretary General about what happened. They're saying the UN is giving you preferential treatment.
First of all, let me correct one huge mistake, which is classifying Anastasiades as if he is the president of Cyprus. He is the president of a Greek Cypriot state that pretends to be the Republic of Cyprus. That is what I meant by the UN organization being responsible for the failure of the talks, not just in Crans-Montana. This is a negotiating process that has been going on for the past 50 years. What I meant was there is a member sitting at the UN General Assembly called the Republic of Cyprus, when there shouldn't have been. Because if we are going to analyze what's happening now, we must first understand what kind of a republic the Republic of Cyprus was at its establishment. It was a partnership republic of two political equals, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. It was a republic that had limited sovereignty. It wasn't a fully fledged sovereign state. It was a republic that guaranteed that neither the Greek Cypriots nor the Turkish Cypriots on our own, without the other partner, would have the right to claim to be the Republic of Cyprus. The sovereignty of the Republic of Cyprus was totally based on the continuation of the partnership between the Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. Once that partnership broke down in 1963, as a result of the Greek Cypriot armed onslaught against the Turkish Cypriots, and they monopolized what used to be a partnership republic. They monopolized it as a purely Greek Cypriot republic. The United Nations organization made the huge mistake of accepting them as if they were the legitimate successors of the Republic of Cyprus.
Okay.
So since then,
yes, You feel it's been unfair,
It is
loaded against
not
you.
just unfair. It is against international law. It is against the agreements that created the Republic of Cyprus.
Right.
It is against the very constitution of the Republic of Cyprus. So you shouldn't treat the Republic of Cyprus as if it is a republic of Cypriot nation.
Right.
I'm sure our viewers do not know that the Republic of Cyprus, at its establishment and to this very day, does not have a national anthem because there is no Cypriot nation.
Right.
Today, if a head of state was to visit the island, the south side that pretends to be the Republic of Cyprus, and the national anthems of the receiving state and the visiting state are to be played, the national anthem that the Greek Cypriots play, as if it is the national anthem of the Republic of Cyprus, is a Greek national anthem.
Okay.
So the rhetoric that the Greek Cypriots are using as if the UN is biased against
Right.
them and favoring us is totally baseless.
Let me take that a step further. You felt that the UN giving them that sort of institutional global recognition harmed you. When they became EU members, was that basically the nail in the coffin of any reunification? Because why should they give that up?
Absolutely. This is what I said. Why I said the Greek Cypriots, what they are interested in is the continuation of the negotiations in an open-ended manner. We've wasted 50 years. We can negotiate for another 500 years. So long as they are the recognized Republic of Cyprus, and so long as by using that status, they are able to impose embargoes on the Turkish Cypriots, which is what we are suffering since the breakdown of the Partnership Republic. We are treated as if we are some kind of international outlaws. And so long as they are able to accuse Turkey as if it is an occupying power of the Republic of Cyprus, why should they feel any necessity to come to a negotiated deal with the Turkish Cypriots who, in their view, we are not their equals.
Yes.
In their view, the island of Cyprus is a Hellenic island, and the Turkish Cypriots can at best be a minority.
Who are the result of a Turkish invasion and occupation in their eyes.
Well, we've been on the island since
Yes.
the 16th century.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. So there's this, I mean, you disagree deeply on the fundamentals here. right?
Absolutely.
But what they're saying is that at the negotiations, this was in good faith, and they just want to talk about the troops.
No.
And they want the troops to go, and once the troops go, you can talk, you can clear the air properly and have proper negotiations. Tell me why you disagree with that.
I totally disagree with that. I was in Kram Montana as well. I know what happened there. What they're saying has nothing to do with reality. But first of all, the negotiations that first began in Geneva and then the second round took place in Kram Montana, the basis upon which these negotiations were conducted was the fact that all subjects, all headings were to be discussed at the same time. And unless you agree on all subjects, none of the agreements you may have made individually on any of the headings was going to be...
all or nothing, basically.
All or nothing.
I see.
So once we came to Kram Montana, the Greek Cypriot attitude was, unless I secure for myself 0 soldiers, 0 guarantee, I'm not going to talk about anything else. This was contrary to the very fundamentals of the negotiating process. All headings related to the Cyprus problem were to be discussed.
For those who don't know much about this and they see it as just a tussle between two nation states, historical foes, Greece and Turkey, how accurate is that?
The fact is that Turkish Cypriots, it's not healthy to look at the Cyprus problem and say it's a problem between Turkey and Greece. It's not just a problem between Turkish Cypriots or Greek Cypriots. In that part of the world, in that very important geography, obviously the conflict is not just between Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. It's not just between the two Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots and their motherlands. It's a geography, my dear friend, that involves too many stakeholders. everybody and anybody who is anybody in the world has a stake in that part of the world. It's such a critical geography that, name it, Russians, Americans, the British, the Israelis, the European Union, everybody has a stake in that geography.
The British were there at the talks as well. Were they helpful or harmful?
Well, the British have always maintained that they support a negotiated deal. The Americans always say they support a negotiated deal. But what good is it if you treat one of the two former partners as if it is the legitimate state and treat the other partner as if it's just a community, and you say, sit down and talk and negotiate and come to an agreement. Agreements, my dear friend, are made between equals.
What's depressing is that the UN envoy is also saying that he doesn't think that there'll be any talks soon. So what is it? Is it dead? Is it finished now?
What is finished is the 50-year-long UN-sponsored Secretary General's mission of good offices. That's finished. What we're saying is, what failed in Crans-Montana is not just the Cyprus conference that took place in Crans-Montana. The 50-year-long process has collapsed. It is no longer, no one should expect that we will continue an obvious failure. The parameters that have been in place for the past 50 years, bicommunal, bizonal federation based on political equality. This is out of the question anymore.
What can they do as a single thing in the short term that would maybe get you back at the negotiating table?
One thing that will make the negotiating table attractive to us from now on is correcting the 50-year-long mistake, treating the two sides equally.
The UN?
The UN, the international community. No one should expect the Turkish Cypriots to sit at the negotiating table where the Greek Cypriot side is the state and we are just the community. This is the one fundamental reason why the negotiations have collapsed. Why should the Greek Cypriots feel any necessity to share with us the benefits of international recognition?
Not only do they have international recognition, EU membership, they've also discovered gas.
Well, not yet.
Right, okay, so there's gas. So there's a provocative suggestion by Mithat Rende, the ambassador, former Turkish ambassador to Qatar, who said Turkey should send ships and start to pull it out of the sea. Is that something that will be detrimental to any peace, or is it something that's good?
No, it's something that is necessary to get the Greek Cypriots to understand that they have no right to do something on their own, something that involves the rights of the Turkish Cypriot people as well.
So you want Turkey to send a drill ship and to start to explore the gas?
Of course.
And what if it provokes them and they say no peace?
Sorry?
What if it provokes the Greek Cypriots and Greece as well, and they say, well, we can't trust you?
Well, they don't trust us anyway. It's not a matter of who trusts who. It's a matter of who is who and who is not who in that part of the world, on the island of Cyprus. Greek Cypriots are not the Republic of Cyprus. It doesn't matter whether the UN recognizes them as the Republic of Cyprus. It doesn't matter where international companies sign agreements with them as if they were the Republic of Cyprus and they go in and start drilling. So long as the Turkish Cypriots don't recognize them as the Republic of Cyprus, so long as a Greek Cypriot authority that claims to be the Republic of Cyprus has nothing to do with the Turkish Cypriot people, the Greek Cypriots themselves know that they are not the Republic of Cyprus. The Greek Cypriots themselves know that there is no way they will be able to get away with drilling oil, natural gas, whatever, without having Turkey in the picture.
Right.
There is no way they can, even if they were able to drill and find something, there is no way they will be able to market it.
So, as foreign minister on your watch, do you want reunification to happen while you're foreign minister?
Between who? The question is
between the
status.
people you were negotiating with in Switzerland and the Turkish Cypriots in the north.
It's not a no. The people we were negotiating with in Crans-Montana were not just the Greek Cypriot people. They are recognized by the international community as if they are the Republic of Cyprus. And if you were to ask me the
that's
question...
why you're negotiating. That's why you're negotiating, right? Because you don't fully recognize them, they don't fully recognize you. That's why you're having these talks.
But there is inequality in the process. That is what I'm surprised I can't get that message across. Greek Cypriots have the comfort of knowing that once they are off the negotiating table, they are the Republic of Cyprus.
But why did you go to those talks if you knew it was going to be so unequal in the first place?
Well, I never felt that the process was going to produce a result. I have always been quite clear about this.
Right.
But this is a process that began 50 years ago. And what needed to be done was exactly what happened in Crans-Montana, for the international community to see that no matter how many years we negotiate, this is not going to come to fruition, because the Greek Cypriots, enjoying the international recognition that they have, having made themselves European Union members, contrary to the Copenhagen criteria of the European Union. So it's a matter of the United Nations organization first betraying the Turkish Cypriots, violating international law by treating the Greek Cypriots on their own, without the Turkish Cypriot partner, as if they were the Republic of Cyprus. Then the European Union betrayed the Turkish Cypriots.
Right.
Contrary to Copenhagen criteria, treating the Greek Cypriot state, pretending to be the Republic of Cyprus, as if it is a proper applicant. We all know why the European Union did that, because Greece threatened to veto the whole enlargement, which the Germans especially needed so badly. So the European Union betraying the Turkish Cypriots, imposing embargoes on us. The United Nations organization betraying the Turkish Cypriots, treating us as if we are some kind of an ethnic minority over the Republic.
Right.
But the only platform that the international community made possible for us to negotiate in was the UN-sponsored Mission of Good Offices.
And does this mean you will lean more on Turkey now?
No, Turkey will always be our motherland. We will always have special ties with Turkey. There is no way the Turkish Cypriot people will distance themselves from the Republic of Turkey. Turkey is our motherland. And it's the only country to which we trust. It's the only country that has demonstrated its willingness to send her boys, her sons, her soldiers to die, if necessary, to protect the Turkish Cypriot people. We have enjoyed security only since 1974, after Turkey militarily intervened. From 1964, my dear friend, to 1974, there were UN peacekeeping forces on the island of Cyprus. But the killings of Turkish Cypriots, mass murders, abductions, kidnappings, all sorts of violence against the Turkish Cypriots continued when the UN peacekeeping forces were already on the island.
Yes.
Because they were not sent there to protect the Turkish Cypriots. They were only sent there to observe what was happening and to report to headquarters. So our security, we only trust the Republic of Turkey for our security. And once you sit at a negotiating table, my dear friend, and the other side keeps saying 0 soldiers, 0 guarantee, because a modern state does not have all of these things. They say we're not going to talk about anything else unless we secure these, first of all.
Right.
And the Turkish Cypriot people are saying from day one to this moment and forever that we can only trust an agreement if it involves Turkish guarantee.
Right.
And in the negotiations, Turkey has also stated that after a certain time period, for example, 15 years, we are willing to review the guarantee system.
They rejected that.
Greek Cypriots say no.
Okay.
0 soldiers, 0 guarantees from day one. And unless we secure these, they said, we're not going to negotiate about anything else. This is why the process collapsed. And now they expect us to behave as if nothing has happened. 50 years of our time have not been wasted. And once the Greek Cypriots go through their elections next year, early next year, and they elect whoever they will elect as their president, they expect us to get back to the negotiating table and continue the 50-year-long proven failure process.
Okay.
That's not going to happen, is what we are saying. If there are going to be negotiations from now on, and there will be, I am sure, because diplomacy never ends. Diplomacy, at one point, will resume again.
Okay.
But this time, it should be negotiations between two states of Cyprus. If people expect to reunite Cyprus, they must first accept that there are two Cypruses, Turkish Cyprus and Greek Cyprus.
Okay. Foreign Minister Tahsin Ertuğruloglu, sir, it's been a pleasure having you on the program.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Good to have your perspective.
Thank you.